What's going on? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the boxing clinic and more. This the more part. We talking about now the NFL owners, led by Jerry Jones and Bob McNair, are pushing for Roger Goodell to get fired, not to get his contract extension. And Roger Goodell must have done something to PO the owners. And it's rumor allegedly he was fighting for the players to he was fighting for them to protest, to stand up and show that they care about the community, care about causes, and stand up against Trump. And some of the owners don't like that because Bob McNair, the Houston Texans owner, his comments, what he said. He said that you can't have the inmates, running a prison. And he talked about, he was talking about the players. It was a bad analogy. It's an analogy he shouldn't have used. And he said, it was just an analogy. No, he meant that. And the times that we're living in where there's a lot of high racial tension going on. And for him to use that recklessly and still have a job and still not be, disciplined for that, just shows you the direction the NFL is going, and now his players kneeled down. Some talked about not playing, but at the end of the day, they need them game checks. They're going to show up and play. Still a pride thing. But, now you have him saying that, and apparently, Roger Goodell is kind of siding with the players when his employer is the owners. The owners use him to discipline the players and to, do what he do. He's kind of like the owner's voice. All 32 owners it is. He's their one voice. And they vote and propose things, and he's supposed to push it through. And amongst things they're trying to say that they're mad about is the way he handled the Ray Rice thing and tried to cover it up. The relocation of some NFL teams, the Rams, the Chargers, specifically the Chargers not being able to sell, which came out that the owners pushed for the Chargers to get moved to LA, not Roger Goodell. And they trying to make him the scapegoat for their shortcomings. Let's be real. Only reason Jerry Jones, who is really starting to push for this now, and now is starting to gain some traction, wants him gone, it's a simple fact because he suspended Ezekiel Elliott, and he can get Roger Goodell out of there. His suspension versus Ezekiel Elliott and get pushed on out. And Jerry Jones is one of the biggest babies of the NFL owners. Bob McNair, he was a big funder of one of the biggest funders of the Trump campaign. I'm pretty sure Jerry Jones was a big funder because he talked to Trump, and that's when he he disciplined his players, said we will not be kneeling no more, you won't play. So it's please believe me, it's a lot of these guys, owners that's still in that old slave mentality. And people say, how can these players be slaves and they making millions? You can still be a slave, a modern day slave, and it's a lot of modern day slavery going around in the world today that a lot of you blind cats don't see. But that's a conversation for another day. But since Jerry Jones' prize thoroughbred running back Ezekiel Elliott is being suspended for 6 games and they keep postponing it, he knows it's a critical stretch down the season. Philadelphia is rolling, and he needs Ezekiel Elliott, and he's for sure pushing for Roger Goodell to get the boot. For a long time, a lot of the fans and players wanted Roger Goodell to get a boot. So you would think 1 + 1 = 2. He's gonna be up out of there. But if whoever they get in next is gonna be worse than Roger Goodell, you know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be Jerry Jones picking, the owner, and whatever Jerry Jones says, it pretty much goes amongst the owners. He's the platinum standard. He's the OG of the owners. Might not be the oldest, but he's one of the most successful. He has the highest grossing franchise right now. And that dude up in Foxborough, the owner in Foxborough wants Roger Goodell gone as well after the little deflate gate, after them cheating many years ago. Robert Kraft, he wants them gone. He wants Roger Goodell gone. Still has a vendetta against him when Roger Goodell could have came down a lot more harder than he came down on the Patriots for a second offense. You know what I'm saying? Probably more than that. They probably swept under the rug. But, Roger Goodell made $44 million last year. And you got to understand that, with Trump in office, the NFL switched from a non-profit to a profit with a lot of tax write-offs. So they really going to gross. They can make a profit, and they really going to gross a lot. And, Roger Goodell about to lose a good job. He's about to be a scapegoat for a lot of things. NFL owners wanted him to press the attack on NFL player discipline on and off the field. That's what he did. NFL owners push for the San Diego Chargers to go to LA. That was them. It wasn't him. He tried to move the Oakland Raiders to San Antonio. Jerry Jones told him not to do it. Backhand him, said no. They going anywhere but Texas. And Jerry Jones is really the commissioner. He really holding the power, and he's gonna show and flex his muscle on Roger Goodell and get him out of this job if he can. And with him, Robert Kraft, Arthur Blank on this side, Stephen Ross and Miami Dolphins owner, Bob McNair was the owner in Houston. Roger Goodell days may be numbered. After all the time the players been trying to get him pushed out of there, this is what's gonna push him out. And the next guy they get, they're not gonna be happy with him. He's gonna be Jerry Jones's pet and Robert Kraft's pet and Bob McNair's pet. So it is what it is. Let me know what y'all think. We out.